What is up, guys? Mealak here, and today we are back in action for another Minecraft mod spotlight. Anyways, we're taking a look at thermodynamics, which just released, I think, yesterday, and it adds all the Fluidducts and you know, like Itemducts and the RF transferring Fluxducts into thermal expansion. So we've been waiting on this for a long time, and we haven't actually had this for Minecraft 1.7.10 at all. The last time we've seen this was 1.6.4. So it's been a while, and I'm super excited about it. I can't wait till they add these to everyone's packs, and that is super unprofessional, professional guy going on right now. Anyways, so the first thing we're taking a look at is the Fluxducts. Now, the Fluxducts transfer energy. I'm sure you guys are used to something like this if you're used to modded where there's Ender IO cables, or if you played 1.6.4, you'll know what the Fluxducts are. Now, they have some similar things, and then there's two new ones. But all the RF values have changed. So now the leadstone, instead of 80 RF a tick, it does 200 RF a tick. The hardened does 800 RF a tick, and I think it did 400 before. And then the redstone does 8,000. I think that's a downgrade. I'm not sure exactly what it was before, maybe like 10,000 or something. And then the resonant Fluxduct is a new one, and it transfers up to 32,000 RF a tick. Now, in comparison, Ender IO's maximum conduit transfers 20,000, so this is definitely an upgrade. I'll be using this a lot. Now, they have a brand new one called a cryo-stabilized Fluxduct, and it transfers infinite RF a tick. That is freaking amazing, and it looks amazing too. Look at this guy. It's like, oh, it just it's just freaking amazing. Let's go ahead and set times that day. It's freaking amazing. So this guy looks really cool, and I'm really excited. So it transfers in infinite. That means if you had a million big reactors and you just stick this will instantly transfer. So yeah, that is freaking amazing. It looks really cool. Let's go ahead and look at, I usually don't look at recipes, but this one has a special recipe. You fill it with gelid cryothium, so it's definitely really cool. And the way you make this is you need flux ingots, hardened glass, and redstone energy. So you already have to fill the redstone energy conduit with redstone, and yeah, and this only makes one at a time, so you need all of this stuff just to make one, so it's pretty expensive. Nice. Okay, the next thing we're taking a look at is the Fluidducts. Now, the Fluidducts are pretty much the same as before, except we have a brand new one called a flux-plated Fluidduct, and there's actually an item, a flux-plated Itemduct as well, and those transfer RF. We'll get to that here in a second. But we have a copper Fluidduct and a hardened Fluidduct. Now, there is some key differences. First of all, you know, like the copper isn't as good as the hardened. You know, it kind of goes up the tier system just like thermal expansion does. But this time, the Fluidducts can actually only transfer certain types of fluids. So the basic copper one cannot well, they can, but it'll break if you put anything extremely hot or cold through the Fluidduct, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. The hardened Fluidduct doesn't have any such restrictions. So if you try to run anything like pyrotheum or cryothium through a copper Fluidduct or lava, it's going to explode. So what I'm going to do is let's do this. So this is going to fill up. So this is copper Fluidducts. So we're putting pyrotheum through it right now, and it should explode. We'll go ahead and do lava as well, and we'll do cryothium. So it can't do anything extremely hot or cold. So all three of these fluids, look at that. Yeah, the pyrotheum just exploded. Oh no, there's fire everywhere. And then now the lava, oh look, the cryothium just exploded. It's way too cold for it. Let's go ahead and block that guy. And then the lava takes a little bit longer because it's nowhere near as hot as the pyrotheum, but it will explode eventually, which is, you know, pretty cool. Now, the flux plated, we could actually run this guy straight through, or not the flux plated, well, yeah, the flux plated, or the hardened here, and they won't explode. They'll just go ahead and transfer stuff. And as you see, look at this, the lava one's actually smoking right now, so yeah, they can't explode. So you're gonna have to, you know, keep in mind what you want to do. I think this adds a cool mechanic. Now, if you have other mods that actually adds different types of Fluidduct-like things to the pack, and they don't have this problem, then you might not use the copper ones early on. You might use those instead. Yeah, that's the thing. So the lava one still hasn't exploded. I promise it will explode eventually. Now, the Fluxducts, what the Fluxducts do, if we turn this on, it'll transfer any liquids through its contents, and I actually have this set up wrong. I'm sorry about that. If we do something like this, it should fill up. Yeah, it'll fill up. There we, or maybe not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, the Fluidducts, it will transfer anything, but it also transfers RF, and it transfers 2,000 RF a tick. So if we put that there, you'll see that this guy is slowly filling up. Transfer 2,000 RF tick, which is cool. Now, my only problem with the RF things is I feel it's gamey. It's kind of weird because, I mean, it would be cool if they took this out and added a conduit that transferred everything. Now, it feels kind of weird that the Itemducts and Fluidducts do have RF transfer, which, I mean, it will be really useful. Don't get me wrong. I'll probably use this all the time for, like harvester planter setups or whatever, just so I can get power to both things and not have to worry about like complicated wiring and stuff like that. I'll use it all the time, but I feel like maybe it'd be kind of cool if they had like a triple bundle that could do everything. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but that would be really cool as well. But yeah, this is definitely an amazing feature. I like it. Okay, so next up we actually have Itemducts. So Itemducts are pretty much the same. There's a few new features that I'm going to show you, mainly these servos. That'll be at the end of the video, but what I want to show you guys is we have some Itemducts. I'm going to stick some items in here. Now, before, you could kind of right-click and it would do like an input-output sort of thing, and then you could, you know, like right-click with a blank hand and it would show you if there's a whitelist and stuff like that. Well, this time, they don't do any of that. You have to use these things called servos. So, but for now, we're going to just use a basic servo. So this is a basic servo. It's pretty cheap. It's the cheapest one you get. So if we want to extract, we just, you know, put a redstone torch here. It's going to slowly extract the cobblestone. Now, these guys actually have they have all the rates that they do. So like extraction rate 3 seconds, so it takes 3 seconds to extract an item. So every 3 seconds it's going to extract, and it has a max stack size of 4. So every 3 seconds it's going to extract 4 items. So that's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, this guy is slowly extracting in 4, so it's very, very slow. It's not very useful. It would definitely be super early game. And this has a little tiny whitelist that you can do. Whitelist, blacklist. You can whitelist and blacklist 3 items. That just means if I put a whitelist right here, it's not going to extract cobblestone anymore. The only thing it's going to be looking for is crescent hammers. If I blacklist crescent hammers, then that means it's going to extract everything except for crescent hammers. So that's how the whitelist and blacklist kind of work. So right here, also I forgot to mention that all the ducts have a opaque version. So all these right here are the opaque versions, and what this does is it just allows it you not to render the items transferring. The clear versions, you can see the items transferring though. It saves a little bit on lag, especially if you have thousands of items transferring all the time. So we have an item duct here. This is the basic one, and then we have a impulse item duct, which is an upgrade. So let's just go ahead and upgrade this. Now, the difference between item ducts is the actual transfer rate in between everything. So if we can grab all this, the extraction is still going to be every 3 seconds and 4 at a time, but the actual rate through the conduit is going to be much faster, as you can see. So yeah, the freaking impulse item ducts here are way faster. That's really cool. Now we also have one more grade right here. We have the warp item duct. Now the warp item duct is going to be 1 step above the impulse item duct. And if we add a basic servo here and stick all of the cobblestone, you're going to see that this guy is actually going to pull out, and it looks like it's just a basic. It just goes the same speed as a basic, but this the warp item ducts has a very cool feature. If we grab some power over here and you actually stick power into the thing, you can see it's like this little space thing that pops up. And what happens is it actually transfers items instantaneously. So if we put this in here, you'll see that it does 4 instantaneously. You don't have to see the items transfer through. They don't transfer through. This could be any distance and it would transfer instantly. It's freaking amazing. Now, right now, if we want to actually get rid of, let me get rid of this. If you actually want to get rid of the servos, you can just right-click this and it'll give it back to you. So let's grab an upgraded one. Let's get a resonant servo here. And let's get rid of this torch. Now, the servos, they have different upgrades and stuff. If we want to do a resonant, we can right here, we can see it has a way bigger whitelist and blacklist we can set. Also, you can use metadata, MBT, all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to explain what all this stuff is. If you want to know, you can look it up. Metadata would just be like damage values. MBT would just be different stuff. Anyways, You can have it, you know, or dictionary, that kind of stuff. Anyways, and then you do nearest first, furthest first, random, round robin. Round robin would mean if we have multiple chests in here, it's going to split everything up evenly throughout all the chests. So it's really cool. And then nearest first would pick the nearest chest first, so that would be this one. Furthest first, which it would pick this one first, so yeah, that's really cool. And then random, I guess it just picks randomly. That's a cool new feature, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and since this has power, it should transfer instantly. So let's go ahead and grab all the cobblestone here. I'm gonna grab let's grab a bunch of stacks of cobblestone and kind of stick it in here. We'll stick it in here. And you should see, oh, we need to say ignored. So this has an internal redstone control. So as you see, all of it's gone, and it should all go into this. And we'll go ahead and pull all these guys out. Boom, 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 boom. Pulls them all out instantly, transfers all of them instantly. Let's get rid of this guy, and then let's get rid of this guy, and we'll just put all these in here. Pull them all out, transfers them all instantly. Now, this does use power. As you can see, it uses quite a bit of power, but I'm assuming by the time you reach this late game, this power isn't going to be that big of a deal. But it does use power. I think it's around, like, don't quote me on this. I'm not sure. I haven't really been watching it. Actually, I guess we could test it. Let me grab a stack of items, and we're on, let's grab a brand new resonant energy cell here. Okay, that's not a brand new resonant energy cell. Let's grab a resonant energy cell right here. Boom, and then we want to say, let's see, output to the right here. There we go. Nice. Now, let's see. So we're at 80 million RF, right? So let's go and stick this in here. So it transfers it instantly. How much did it use? It looks like it uses about 500 RF at every transfer, which since it transfers instantly, if you're doing a lot of items, that's going to add up really fast. So yeah, it does use quite a bit of energy, but it's freaking amazing. Oh, also one thing I forgot to mention is we also have the fluctuating item ducts, which transfers RF and items at the same time, just like the fluctuating fluid ducts. Next up, we have the basic filters. Now, the basic filters, I'm going to grab the most basic one, and then we're going to grab the best one here. So what the basic one does is, for example, if you're extracting out of this, I guess we might as well just go ahead and grab the extraction thing. So if you're actually extracting out of this, and let's say you only want to whitelist certain things in the chest. For example, let's say you didn't whitelist anything here and you only want to whitelist stuff here. The filters just lets you do that. That's all they do. They're just kind of like an input sort of thing. So let's just whitelist cobblestone. And then let me go ahead and set this guy to ignore redstone. And then let me grab some grass and dirt. And so we have cobblestone actually whitelisted right here. So let's just go ahead and stick all the cobblestone right here. It should pull out all the cobblestone, and it will not pull out any of the grass blocks. So yeah, that's really cool. As you see, all of that's here, and all of this is here. Now, what we could actually do is we can, let's get rid of this guy right here. And let's put in a resonant filter. Now, the resonant filter, as I said, as you go up through the ranks here, it goes from least to best, and they have different features. The resonant filter has all the features, and it can filter up to 15 items at once, which is amazing. I am so sick of the 9-slot filters. It drives me insane because I always need, like, 10 items and I can never get it. But here you can do whitelist, blacklist, just like the basic filter. You can also use metadata, NBT. You can ignore or use or dictionary. You can even sort by mod owners, which is freaking amazing. You can prevent overflow, so if the chest is filled, it won't try to put anything in there and, you know, like screw up your server or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of features here, and it's freaking amazing. I love to see all these features. This is amazing. Just for example, metadata would just be like damage values. MBT would be like sorting with like enchantments and stuff, I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics. I use them and just kind of mess around with the settings and that kind of stuff, which is freaking amazing. Now, the last thing we have here is we have retrieval nodes. We'll grab the first one and last one here. Now, the retrieval nodes have the same retrieval servos have the same exact functionality as nodes. So if we get rid of these guys right here, and we can use let's use the basic retriever. Now, the basic retriever is just going to retrieve any items in the system that you set as a whitelist. So, for example, let me grab all the items out of here right now. And then we are going to say a dirt. We're going to say a dirt whitelist. And then we're going to stick everything else in here. Now with the basic ones, you have to always add a redstone signal for it to activate. So as you can see, it's going to only pull out dirt, and this is the slowest one, so it's only going to pull out, you know, every 3 seconds 4 stack size at a time. But let's say we take out all the dirt, it's not going to pull anything else ever, since we set the whitelist there. So let's go ahead and get rid of this guy, and then let's try out the resonant retriever right here, and we'll set up a whitelist of dirt right here. We'll stick all the dirt back in here, and then let me get rid of all of this stuff. Actually, we'll set a whitelist of cobblestone, and then we're going to stick everything in here. So it's going to grab all the cobblestone and not grab anything else. You can also set up blacklist, but I'm assuming you guys know what that means. So if we set up a blacklist with cobblestone, it'll pull everything else out except for cobblestone. And this has all the features of you know, all this kind of stuff. But this is really useful. For example, let's say you just have you want to set up a sorting system. You only want certain items to go in certain chests, and then you have a main dump chest. So what you do is you would set up a retrieval node from on every single chest that you want sorted, and that'll only put specific items in there, and then you just have a dump chest where you dump all your items in the chest, and it automatically gets sorted into your system. This is really cool. I love it. It's amazing. The last thing we have here is a structural duct. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I played with this before the thing. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but I'm assuming it's just mainly used to block connections between certain things. But it actually doesn't work that well right now. I figured what it would do is, for example, I feel like the biggest thing that this should be able to do is if you want to block the connection between these two right here, which you can actually just do with right-clicking. So I don't know. I'm not sure what this does. If you guys know, then make sure to comment down in the comment section. But that's everything in the mod spotlight. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it was good. If it did, click the like button. It really helps you out in search rankings. I love y'all's faces, and I'll see you guys for the next one.